Dear auto selling professionals, it gives me extreme pleasure to deliver this week's bulletin to you. This week's news is a mixture of joy and sadness. You ask why? It is because the auto market is uncertain. Oh, by the way, before uttering another word, I must introduce myself as Madam Sophia, the virtual assistant to CTM Joseph NG, your e-coach and e-mentor for sales and marketing. Without delay, here is a breaking news. Get my drift? Auto sector not out of the woods yet despite a projected robust fourth quarter of 2021. Pedaling Jaya, despite an expected strong total industry volume, TIV, recovery in the fourth quarter of this year for the automotive sector. This is expected to fall by the middle of next year due mostly to the ongoing global microchip issue. Hong Leong Investment Banks, HLIB, research arm said it expects TIV to drop post-sales and service tax, SST, exemption expiry by the middle of next year, and therefore, was maintaining its neutral call on the sector. Nevertheless, we advise investors to accumulate MBM Resources BHD and DRB Hecom BHD as we expect national original equipment manufacturer, OEMs, to triumph in the longer term with potential growth from new export markets. We also, like Sime Darby BHD for its strong balance sheet and leverage to the China market rebound, it said in a report citing data from the Malaysian Automotive Association, MAA. It said there was continued month-on-month recovery of 43.4% or 500 units in October TIV as industry players ramped up production since mid-August to clear the current high order backlog. On a year-on-year basis, it was a growth we expect TIV to sustain at this high level until year-end. This is on OEMs maintaining their production level to meet the current order backlogs and the expected year-end sales. The extension of the SST exemptions to June 30, 2022 has provided the industry some leeway to better plan their production lines over a longer period as demand remains robust. While supply is being constrained by the ongoing global microchip supply shortage in the near term, it said. The research outfit added that it had revised its TIV forecast to 500,000 units from 480,000 for 2021. Meanwhile, RHB Research in its report said downside risks to the sector's recovery included persistent shortages of key components and delays in new model launches. With a mutating COVID-19 and rising cases globally, we cannot rule out further rolling lockdowns ahead still. This, we believe, will trigger downside risks, the research house said. It added that other downside risks included the tightening of bank approvals for car loans and a sharp weakening of the ringgit. Similar to HLIB, it also has a neutral call on the automotive sector. Its financial year 2022 TIV forecast of 540,000 units implies a 15% year-on-year growth, accounting for the SST extension to June 2022. This is to be followed by a gestation period after the long SST exemption period of 24 months that started in July 2020. End of breaking news. Source: The Star Papers. By the way, are you happy with this week's bulletin? I hope you do. As for myself, I am very happy as it is a very objective message. Again, you may ask why. It is a serious warning to us to sell our autos wisely. That is, to sell the right price, right number of units and at the right time to Malaysian and foreigners regardless of race or religion. True or not? P.S. Please give us a thumbs up. Also subscribe to our channel so you would not miss out any of our practical video clips. Alright. PPS. Before we part company, may I introduce Madam Florence, another virtual assistant to CTM Joseph. She will deliver a free chapter of the book, How to Close Every Sale and Every Time. Until we meet again, this is Madam Sophia wishing you goodbye and happy selling. Thanks a million.
Thank you, Madam Sophia, for allowing me to present a free chapter from the book, How to Close Every Sale and Every Time. By the way, before speaking another word, may I introduce myself to you as Madam Florence, another virtual assistant to CTM Joseph NG. He is the author of the book. Alright. Below is the free chapter 16, the direct close method quote. They tell you in the training session that the lockup or close starts with asking for the order. But for me it is asking for the money. I don't hesitate and say, I need a deposit. That's no good, because it just put you on the edge. By Joe Girard, world greatest salesman, author of book, How to Sell Anything to Anybody. Now that you have read and understood a large number of sales closing techniques, yet do not underestimate this powerful sales closing style. Agree or not? Makes no mistakes sometimes, it is smart to forget the complex strategies and simply ask for the business boldly and frankly. Period. However, when applying this direct close, it is assumed that the salesman has restated the benefits his prospects will receive. Further, he should be reasonably confident of the outcome. And also several other closes have failed, plus this direct approach may be the last chance to conclude the sale. The manner in which you, the salesman, ask depends on the situation, his personality, his prospect's personality, and the rapport the salesperson has with the buyer. Therefore, the salesman should use the appropriate words when you ask your prospect to make a buying decision. An example of a direct approach would be, "Well, I guess that about covers all the details, Mr. Tan. How many do you want to order for shipment next week?" Or, "I know that you are busy, Mrs. Wong, so if it is all right with you, I'll start to get this order written up." Another good example of this direct close approach would be, "It looks as if you prefer this model of Proton car, then I'll get the paperwork done for you." You have certainly made a wise decision. Heading into a closing conversation with a prospect is always a nerve-wracking experience. No matter how impressed they seemed during your demo or how enthusiastic your point of contact is, there's always a chance your deal won't pan out. A prospect might ditch you for a competitor, postpone the decision until the following quarter, ask for a price you can't deliver, or take any other action to stop a sale in its tracks. While closing a deal rests heavily on the quality of your offering and how well you've executed your sales process up to that point, the closing phrase you use is also a key factor. And that extends beyond the specific closing sentence or question you go with. Your tone, voice, and language throughout the process all have an impact on the prospect as well. The advantage of using this direct approach is that when the buyer resists it, he is forced to clarify his or her position on the matter. This gives the seller a starting point for picking up the sales presentation again or a chance to answer possible objections. Eventually, it allows the salesperson to try another closing technique. Summary: to cut a long story short, it is useful to repeat some critical ideas in Thies' closing method. For starters, do recall the sayings of Joe Girard. Also, we must take careful note that using the direct close method you show poise and confidence and etc. Moreover, this technique can be used when all other closing style is unsuccessful. It gives the salesperson to smoke out the real reason why the prospect is not buying. Get my drift? Conclusion: therefore, to close this chapter on direct close style, it is right and fitting to end with these famous words of J.W. Long, a well-known American sales trainer and speaker in the field of retail selling. It is simply amazing that most salespeople never get around to asking for the order, the very thing that they have come to sell. Trust me, there is not yet a better quote regarding closing by asking a direct close technique. Believe me, you should try to close some deals with this method. However, do bear in mind it could be done best when the above stated conditions appear favorable. Alright. That said, it is timely for me to end this chapter gracefully. Get my drift? You bet. End of chapter 16. PS If you like this chapter and the ebook, you can always order this ebook by contacting the author personally, ctmjoseph@josephsing@gmail.com, or WhatsApp him at 601-2387-8592. This ebook is currently on offer at only $1 United States $1.99 or RM8 exclusively for sales professionals like yourself. It is for limited time only. So, hurry now to secure your order. Yes.